Hello everyone, welcome to Software Quality Assurance Training. My name is Narendra Chaudhary and I hope you all are doing great job. I hope you all are enjoying with my videos. So as of now, let's see what we have learned. Okay. So in the course syllabus, we have completed number one, number two, number three, right? We have completed the QA concept. What is the QA concept? With an example also we have discussed in the previous video. Also, we have completed a sequence, right? All the sequence courses in a 15 classes. Please go ahead, watch that videos in order to understand more better way. And in the previous classes, last two classes, we have discussed QA process, which is QA life cycle. And in the QA life cycle, we have discussed software development life cycle and software testing life cycle. So let's quickly recap that what we have learned in software development life cycle and software testing life cycle, right? So in software development life cycle, we have learned whole process of developing the product, like where we learned with example of each steps of development life cycle, and we learn what is the BRD, what is the TRD, business requirement document, how it looks like, right? Technical requirement document, how it looks like, design document, how it looks like, right? Metadata, what is the metadata, what is the mapping documents, right? And what are the steps that involved in the software development life cycle. All those things we learn in software development life cycle, right? Similarly, we also learned a software testing life cycle. In software testing life cycle, what is happening? There is a sprint planning going on, right? They're preparing the business requirement document, test plan document, test cases, RDMs, uh, test results, defects, all those things we have discussed in our software testing life cycle, right? Today we are going to discuss QA methodology or model. So there is the main two types of QA methodology. This is waterfall and agile. So our today topic will be this. So we are almost half of the way of our training session. So we have 10 bullet point. We are now number 4. So in today topic, in today's topic, we will be learning the QA methodology and models. What are the QA methodology? So, in general testing perspective, if you want to see in general perspective, there is two types of model, two types of process, two types of methodology that has been used in real-time project. One is the what is called? One is the waterfall model and another is the agile model. All right, waterfall and agile model. And along with that, agile, to support in agile, there is few tasks that need to be done. So in agile, we will have the sprint planning, we have daily scrum meeting, we will learn the product owner role, scrum master role, and teams role. So in today's topic, we will be learning all four five. We will be learning the agile model, what is the agile model means and how does it work, and then we're gonna learn the waterfall model, right? So let's see. Okay, so in agile model, right? In what number one, waterfall model. What is the waterfall model? Let's read and then understand. All right. So in a waterfall model, each phase must be completed before the next phases can begin, and there is no overlapping in the process. What does it mean? Each phases or each model. So when you develop your project, when you develop a product, you will be dividing a small parts. Like so, each steps of the software development life cycle that must have to complete first, then only we can move into the second step. If something incomplete in your first step, you cannot move in second steps. Not like that you can do half of the first step and half of the second step. It is not like that. In order to move into the next step, you have to complete the first step. That means there should not be any overlap. That not mean you are in the halfway of the first step and halfway of the second step. It is not like that. In waterfall, every step must be completed before you go to the next step. All right. In waterfall model, do not overlap. In waterfall model, the phases do not overlap that I just now discussed with you all. Development of software flows subsequently from a start point to end point. In this model, requirements are very well documented, very clear and fixed. Product definition is stable. Technology is understood and it is not a dynamic. There are no ambiguous requirements. The project is short. Tester works separately from developer here. See here. So if you working in agile kind of project, in agile kind of project, sorry, if you are working in waterfall kind of project, in waterfall project, the business requirement is very simple. Everybody can understand very easily. The requirement will not be so complicated. You don't have to interact with development team. Testing team can understand business requirement by their own. The tools will be very easy. That's why most of the client for the easy perspective, and it's less expensive as well. It's not too much cost as well. It's very expensive, very less expensive. Why? Because the technology will be very reliable, technology will be very understanding. So this project compared to the agile project, this kind of project method is very easy, very short, and requirement will be not complicated, right? Please understand what is the waterfall in two way. Waterfall project is the project process, project model in which every steps, every process has to be complete in order to go to the next step. That means we already know our start point and end point. The project will be very short, it will be not complicated. uh, Project will be the tools and technology will be very understandable. It will be not a dynamic, there will be no confusions, and testing team will work separately from development team. That means testing teams do not require to interact with the development team. So it's very simple, very short. All right. The complicated thing is agile methodology. So let's move to number two in agile methodology. All right. Okay. So in the SOC, agile methods break the product. Either you can say product or project. Agile methods break the project into the small increment. That increment called as a build, or you can call as a sprint. All right. These builds are provided in the iterations. Each iteration typically lasts from about 1 to 3 weeks. Every iteration, remember here iteration means sprint. So here all the project, it will be a huge project, it will be a bigger project, and all the projects, their work they are dividing into small part that can be completed within 2 or 3 weeks, and that the divided part is called as a sprint. The divided part is called as a build. So every sprint they are targeting to complete within 2 or 3 weeks, right? Let's start from here. Okay. So every so every iteration involve cross-functional teams working simultaneously on various areas like planning, requirement analysis, design, coding, unit testing, and acceptance testing. In this model, tester and developers are working together. It requires close communication with development team, with the developers, and together analyze requirement and planning. At the end of the every sprint, UAT is performed. That means user acceptance testing is going to be performed. In Agile, in Agile, there are three main Scrum role: product owner, Scrum Masters, and teams. Let's understand these role one by one. But before going to next steps, let's clearly explain about the what does the agile is. So what we learn in agile, the projects are divided into whole projects are divided into smart part that is called incremental build or that is also called sprint. All right, whole project whole project tasks will divide it into small subtasks, and that subtask is called as a sprint, and every sprint has their time 2 to 3 weeks. They divide the task so that the task can be completed within 2 to 3 weeks. And to complete the task, development team and testing team, business team, everybody has to have very close communication with them. Why? Because we have only 2 or 3 weeks. Within 2 or 3 weeks, we have to understand the business requirement. We have to interact the developer and get the how they code it. So all those things, planning, understanding requirement, coding, all those things will be going to done together. Well, development team as well as testing team, they will work together, right? So all so each sprint will have 3 weeks, 2 weeks time. Within that time, testing team will complete, and we have to work. All the testing teams they work together with development team and all the modeling team, all the project team. And once the whole sprint is completed, at the end of the every sprint, the the UAT testing is going to be performed. UAT testing means user acceptance testing. That is the last state testing. All right. So let's see what is the, and as we know that in agile there will be the close communication between all the development team, QA team, BA team, and all the project team. They have to be a close communication. During the doing the communication, the the way that they're doing the communication, the things they are doing the communication, that communication is called sprint planning. Remember that, okay? So let's learn the sprint planning. What is sprint planning? Process in agile methodology. So in agile methodology, what happened is first, all as we already know that all the project team, which is development team, QA team, BA team, modeling team, they will be interact closely, right? They will interact together, and the moment that they interact together and discuss all those things, that is called sprint planning. All right. So what is sprint planning? Every iteration start with the sprint planning meeting. Every sprint, before you begin your sprint, it will be a meeting. It will be organized a meeting with all the project team, and that meeting is called sprint planning. In the sprint, see, the product owner hold a conversation the product owner holds a conversation with the teams and decide which story are highest in priority and which one they will tackle first. Story are added into sprint backlog, and then teams then break down the story and turn them into tasks. Simple way. Maybe my writing will be a little bit complicated, but let me explain it in clear way. So what happened is, before each sprint start, there will be a meeting. The meeting was organized by the product owner, and in the meeting, all the project team will be involved, which will be development team, QA team, BA team, modeling team, UAT team. All the team will be involved, and in the meeting, they will be discussing what are the requirement, what are the stories, what are the business requirement is the highest priority. They will rank the business story and they put into the backlog. The backlog means, if you heard about the Jira tool, backlog means it is a kind of box where all the story, all the things will be kept there, right? You can assume that the backlog is your bag. You're going for shopping. You have the carrying bag. Understand like that way. So in the carrying bag, you can put everything, but whatever you need, you're gonna take it out and you're gonna eat, right? Similarly here, Once they discuss, there will be like 50 story, there will be 30 story, they will discuss all the story, and which story is the main priority, which story is the second priority, they will discuss. Once they discuss everything, they will put into the sprint backlog. Backlog in Jira, it is a kind of a folder where they're gonna put everything. And once they decide, oh, we have 50 story, but in this sprint we are going to run only 5 story. So what they're gonna do from the backlog, there will be 15 story, but from the backlog they're gonna take the 5 story and they put into the talk. That is also called active sprint. They will put into the active sprint, and from there, testing team, development team, BA team, they will start their work. All right. So I hope you guys understand what is the sprint planning. Sprint planning is the meeting organized by the product owner where all the project team will be included and discussing about all the stories, priority of the stories, severity of the stories, and then once they discuss, they will put all the story into the product backlog, and whatever the story is going to test it into the current sprint or active sprint, they will move from backlog into the active sprint. That is sprint planning. Number second, daily scrum meeting. What is daily scrum meeting? So let's read here. The daily scrum is also known as the daily standard meeting as well. Everyone know, right? This serves to tight communication, and ensure that the entire team is on the same page. Each member goes through what they have done since the last stand up and what they are planning to work on the before of the next one and outline an obstacle. Simple way I'll tell you. A daily stand up meeting is the meeting, okay, organized by the lead in a testing team to discuss about what you have done yesterday and what is your plan for today. Are you facing any obstacle? Are you facing any issue? All those things will be discussed in that stand-up meeting. Why it is called stand-up meeting? Because this meeting is maximum 15 to 30 minutes. It is not a long meeting. It is the everyday meeting within a teams. Why they are doing the everyday meeting within a team for 15 minutes? Because make sure that all the teams they are on the same page. They understood, they don't have any problems. Whatever they have done yesterday, everything looks good. Whatever they plan today, it will be also good. So all those things they will discuss within a team, and that discussion is called daily scrum meeting. All right, or you also can say daily stand-up meeting, right? So next, sprint sprint review meeting. What is the sprint review meeting? Let's read and then we can understand. At the end of the sprint, the team present their work to product owner, and the product owner goes through the sprint backlog and either accept or reject the work. All the uncompleted story are rejected by the product owner. So what happened is, so project planning done, daily scrum meeting is going on, testing team and other team they start their work. So once work is completed, all right, once the all the testing and development teams work is completed, they will schedule a meeting, and in the meeting, testing team will explain that this is the story that we have tested and it is looks good. So when we explain our results, when we explain our testing detail, the product owner will look their backlog. He or she will look his backlog and check that all the story that were tested is that was in the backlog or not. Maybe we missed some story, or maybe we did some extra story. So product owner will check his backlog and he will check our work and making sure that uh, our testing team and product owner the story they are matching. And if something was mismatched, product owner will be reject that story and it will be assigned for next sprint. If everything is good, then project owner will accept that story and he will close by writing comment that this story has been validated successfully and there is no any problem. All right. So what is the sprint review meeting? At the end of the each sprint, teams will explain about their work, and product owner look his or her backlog and compare that his backlog is matching with the testing work. If it's match, if it's good, then product owner will accept the story and it close the story. If something was uncompleted or not matched, then product owner will reject that story. All right. Next, then as you earlier said that in agile there is three main role, right? Product owner role, scrum master role, and team role. So let's quickly understand what is the three roles are. So the product owner role, right? Okay. The product owner should be a person with a vision, authority, and availability. The product owner is responsible for continuously communicating the vision and priority to the development team. The product owner create product backlog, prioritize of the backlog, and are responsible for the every delivery of functionality at each iteration. All right. So what is the product owner? Product owner is the person who has clear vision, who has to understand what he's doing. He has to understand what he's assigning the tasks. So the product owner, he has to be a very strict person because he is the person who has the main responsibility of that sprint. So he had to have the clear vision, a clear authority that what he's doing and what is the main priority, what is the less priority, and he has to interact with development team or the development team has any questions or the development team they are doing their great job or not. So the main responsibility of product owner is to interact with development, taking the responsibility of the business, analyzing the priority of the stories, and then he has to clear the product backlogs. And then once the product backlog created, he have to prioritize the each story and put into the product backlog as they are prioritized. And then before deliver the story, deliver means before close the story, his responsibility will be to make sure that everything is correct. All right. Let's move to number B, Scrum Master role. All right. So the Scrum Master act as a facilitator of the product owner and the team. The Scrum Master does not manage the team. The Scrum Master works to remove any uh, impediments that are obstructing the team from achieving its sprint goal. The This helps the team remain creative and productive while making sure its successes are visible to the product owner. The Scrum Master also works to advise the product owner about how to maximize our ROI, return on investment. Okay, ROI means return on investment for the team. Uh, Scrum Master is also responsible for setting up the teams, okay, sprint meeting, and remove the obstacle into the progress. So let's understand in the easy way. So what is the scrum master? As you already know the role of the product owner, right? So scrum master role will be when you discuss our story, when you discuss our plans, when you discuss our tool and technology, making his responsibility to making sure that our testing teams or development teams or QA team does not have any problem in their work. For example, sometimes they are testing and the database will be not available, right? The access is not provided to the right persons. So correct access is not provided to the correct person, right? Uh, on time they are not clear their story. They're not clear. The testing team or development team, they are not clear their story, right? So all those things, the Scrum Master will trying to fix all the problem, like making sure that all the testing team, development team, they understand their story. All the team, whatever the access they needed, whatever tools they needed, do they have everything or not? Making sure them or all the teams they are on the same page or not, or they're understanding their testing way or not. So all the responsibility will be a scrum master responsibility based upon the product owner decided the priority of the story. But in meanwhile, also the Scrum Master will suggest to the product owner like what should we do first. So he also kind of suggester of the product owner, but his main role is to provide the needs that development or testing team needs in order to perform their jobs. All right. So why he has to take care of all those things to making sure that whatever we invest, we got better uh, return on investment. That means we got better returns. That means whatever we decide, whatever is our goals, we should not have any obstacle in achieving of our goals. That responsibility will be taken care by Scrum Master. All right. Number three, team's role. All right, team's role. What is team's role? Teams manage its own work and organize the work to complete the sprint or cycle. For software project, typically teams include a mix of software engineers, architecture, programmer, analysts, team expert, tester, and UI designer. Each sprint, the team is responsible for determining how it will accomplish the work to be completed. The team has autonomy, autonomy and responsibility to meet the goal of the sprint. So whatever is a team here in team roles, there is so many teams. There is the development team, there is the QA team, there is the BA team, there is the modeling team, and there is the UAT team. So in this team role, each team will have the team lead, and team lead responsibility will be to make sure that they are recognizing their work, they are completing their work on time. So all the teams will be divided based upon their knowledge. There is programming knowledge, there is QA experts. So basically teams are performing their job or not, all those things will be done in team role. Teams are testing correctly, teams are understanding the story, teams are preparing the disclosure documents like RTM, test plan, all those things, right? So team's role is this one. All right, next. Oh, the end. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoying with this video, and I hope you guys are understanding also this video. If you have any question concerns, please write in a comment. And I would like to request to everyone, please subscribe my channel. Thank you.